Okay, it's call me to order. We'll start with the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome everybody to the work session here, September 8th, 10:30 a.m. Ask the Secretary Treasurer to call the roll.
Scott Horowitz.
I'm here.
Ed Warner, President. Chip Marin.
Here.
Joe McLaughlin.
Here.
And Matt Parsons. Present. We're all here.
All right, let's jump right into it. First one I have, I see Costello Marine is here for Mr. Jufrey, Deborah Jufrey, actually, 19 Old Point Road. Village of Quogue.
Good morning, how are
Morning.
you?
Good
How are you?
morning.
Jane Costello from Costello Marine Contracting.
All right. You know the drill, you can sign in.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so you got a large bulkhead project, including some returns, right?
Yep.
And I think you want to adjust your elevation. There's a big expansive lawn there, right?
There is.
So you want to eliminate some of the pressure off of our waterway by adjusting the grade?
Yep, just a little bit, 18 inches above what is currently existing. There's a good pitch, I mean, the lawn allows for it. And so it's a pretty basic, what we're going to do. The only thing is we're going to have to elevate the dock a little bit to adjust for that grade. We're not really touching the dock, we're not going to rip it out or anything like that. We're going to just.
Yeah, you just have to adjust where it's coming into the bulkheading
bulkhead.
side.
Yep.
Because it would be good to take some pressure, some runoff pressure off of that waterway by kind of fixing that.
Then we want to keep the walkway, redo the walkway, and then add an additional 5 feet of non-turf buffer.
Right, so which will also take some pressure off of the waterway. When we look at the overheads, there's a couple of jet ski floats, so he's going to have to fill out separate applications for those, because that's not addressed by this. Right, so you're going to have a little extra paperwork that you're going to have to do on a separate paperwork.
Okay.
We could provide that for you.
Okay.
Does the existing float and boat lift have a permit?
I believe that does.
Just curious.
Yeah.
I didn't look, so I don't.
No, that I believe it does. Yeah, that was a while ago. You know, that I believe it does. It's just, I think that it just has to adjust for those.
We're gonna leave the decking.
Well, we're gonna have to take the decking off a little bit. I think it's, there's already a step up. If, I don't know who's been on site or not site, but at the entrance of the dock, there's already a step. So it's only a few inches to address because the bulkhead now is gonna be higher than the dock. Do you know what I mean? So they have to address this inshore, and then it'll be a little bit of a ramp situation that they're gonna put in there.
But the decking itself is gonna be removed and then.
Not the
non-turf
whole dock, but just as inshore
He says the
end.
decking along the bulkhead.
Along the bulkhead.
Oh, yeah, yes. All that's, yes, we have to do that to do the bulkhead over.
And what are you
But
going to
it's- You're not
replace
gonna
it?
replace it again?
The bulkhead?
No,
No,
the
the
decking.
decking.
I think
the
they are
back
gonna
of the
replace it. The bulkhead,
Oh,
That's an excessive amount of decking.
they do want to replace it,
yeah.
but they want to put a buffer behind it, right?
And then a 5-foot buffer.
Right, so they want to replace the decking, and then they want to buffer the lawn behind it.
And I think we're putting untreated.
I mean, how
Very
many linear feet of decking is that?
It's the same as the bulkhead, so you're talking 396.
396 times 5 is the square footage, which is
Yeah,
kind of,
that's an excessive, I
it's a
mean,
lot of decking.
I mean,
396 of new bulkhead, and then you've got that on there, and then they want to
I mean, I really.
establish, he's got, create,
258 feet wide and by 4.6 wide boardwalk.
they want to take pressure off with buffering with 5-foot wide pea gravel, 6 to 8 inches in depth landward of the boardwalk, and create a 10-foot wide no turf zone landward of the bulkhead. so they want to.
Yeah, but that's an excessive amount
It's
of
like
deck.
1,500 square foot of decking.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, putting, grass there or even gravel there would be more beneficial to the environment than having 258 feet of 4-foot wide decking. I mean, I could see cutting that in down in a quarter. I mean, even that's a pretty
Yeah,
excessive.
if you leave it by the usable area near the 20-foot to the, I don't know what direction that would be, to the east of the dock.
Yeah.
And then the rest have non-turf buffer right to the whaler.
I believe he's got it there now as permitted, I think, if you,
And then you also have to account that some of this decking is part of the bulkhead cap itself.
right.
So we still have to cap the
You
bulkhead.
can go with an 18-inch or a 2-foot wide capping, yes.
2
But
foot wide.
that would be standard on top, but then you're asking for 2 more feet on top of that, over 200. I mean, that's pretty excessive. I mean,
So if he's going to go,
I could see,
if you're going to go a couple feet, and then you're going to go, how about if he makes his buffer area a little wider? Because he's already got this there. It's already existing, so I'm just trying to
isn't he
figure
gonna
out.
remove it when he does the bulkhead?
He is, I'm just trying to figure out how we,
So if it's gonna be removed, why would?
That whole western portion could be straight buffer to the whaler. It doesn't have to be 4-foot wide decking the whole
Yeah, I mean,
route. I mean, the
you-
adjacent
you-
property
you
doesn't
could
have
do
it.
Yeah, but-
capping and then buffer.
Yeah, but get rid of the 4-foot wide and just make it 18 inches or whatever would
I
be
can see by the
appropriate.
house to the dock and then 20 foot to the west of the dock, leaving the decking there. So it's like, he can walk on
clean.
it and it's
Yeah.
clean, it's neat. But that whole western portion that goes up adjacent to the bulkhead that doesn't have decking,
Yeah, that to me would just put
make
a
that all
cap,
buffer.
a cap and then,
Okay.
I mean, it would make it a lot better project. I mean, because a storm with, surges, it breaks loose, it's just more stuff in the environment, and it would actually benefit the environment because you'd have more of a area where the runoff could go into the ground.
Okay, so since it's already a permitted structure, I know we have to remove it to redo the bulkhead, but, so it's close to 400 feet. If we say that we can do 200 feet, like, can we just, maybe like on the sides, off to the sides here, we'll just do pure buffer, but that they have like a little section near the dock area that we can keep the boardwalk?
Yeah, that would,
Yeah.
that's what
I think,
That's
we're
what you're
going
saying?
with, yeah.
Okay, so is there a particular footage that you're looking for?
I think,
50%?
So from from the entrance to the float, the ramp that you have up there,
Yep,
20 foot to the west, you can deck. From that 20 foot further all the way to the return, get rid of the decking.
I think you
to the
need
other- to
to,
that way, yes.
Yeah.
I think you need to go back to your client and have a conversation about that and figure out, how you can kind of work that so that you satisfy the whole board's requirements and take some pressure off of that waterway. Understanding you could still, you obviously have a capping there,
Yes.
right? And then come back with a plan that, perhaps is gonna,
Okay, so it's just reducing the
I
boardwalk to
think
a
you
certain
gotta, yeah.
percentage?
Yeah, take a look at what it is that you have. I don't think that you should just shoot from the hip without consulting with your
Yeah.
client, I think that you need to take a look at the concerns that you're hearing from the board, go take a good look at it, take a look at what's needed on the buffering side, get the additional paperwork to address those 2 other issues that are attached to the float.
Okay.
And then we'll put this back on for work session so that you can at least have, authority from your,
Client.
yeah, because otherwise we're just gonna be spinning wheels.
Well,
here.
basically, we're asking you to go back and discuss it with your
I
client.
will, yeah,
so.
absolutely, yeah.
I think that's what you need to do.
Okay,
I
so-
appreciate what you wanna do, fixing the grade, because you can see on the pictures, there's a lot of lawn, there's a potential for a lot of runoff the way it is right now. So it's good that you want to address that runoff.
Could we also request there to be beach grass, American beach grass plantings in there as well? I mean, you talked about pea gravel, but I didn't see any plantings mentioned in that buffer. Is that something we
Do you
could,
want, is that what you're asking?
we love it.
Okay.
Anytime you can put plants close to the water's edge, it's a good thing for
Okay,
It
so
everyone.
I'll
just keeps the
integrate that.
Kentucky blue from migrating into the pea gravel over years or
But,
somebody overseeding it.
Right, and I think on an expansive waterfront that you have here, on this type of property, because I went up and down this creek, I took a look what was going on. I think it's best that you sit, you meet with your client, you look at this, and you make some decisions over how to best manage what's got to get done here.
Okay.
That way it works for the applicant, it works for the waterway,
Okay.
and it becomes a productive, conversation. I think
Okay,
that's
will
what you
do.
need to do,
Okay, I will discuss that with him.
right?
And
And then
the-
James or Charlie, our office can get you the additional paperwork needed
The
to
jet
address the
skis?
2 jet skis. Yeah, then we can clean that up too at the same time,
Okay.
okay?
Did you want to do the WLNG?
Another one here on with us, sir? All right, let's just stay right on
Okay.
point with you here.
So with that property on Redwood, I'm sure you're all familiar with it, there's a radio tower that's existing, is smack dab in the wetlands. And so they're going to reconstruct that, moving it out of the wetlands area. So for this board, we're just looking for basically a demo permit. We're taking out the concrete and everything, if you can see. Yeah, right where, you just have the mouse. You can see it's like right there. And then we're gonna move it over and out of that wetland area. So it's basically getting permission to go in there and get rid of all that concrete, the tower, existing tower, concrete and everything like that.
Are you gonna remove all the copper wiring that has been put into the water? There's probably a mile of copper wire that's connected to that tower that goes into the underwater lands in.
So I don't think it's all gonna be disconnected. Actually, I don't even know how to answer that question of what is going to happen with all that.
It's quite a nuisance if you're a fisherman down there. And it's copper in the environment, it's not good for the shellfish.
Yep.
And there's literally yards and yards and yards of it, and it's all interwoven. It must be some kind of a system where if a lightning strike happened, it would go into the bay. So, but I mean, if you're gonna remove that tower, everything that's in the bay should be removed with it.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, it's just grounding rod
Yeah,
of
it goes
some
in there,
sorts,
there's hundreds and hundreds of feet of
The
it.
price of scrap copper, I think somebody would be gladly able to remove that.
You'll pay for a good chunk of the job.
Yeah,
I see a mean high water on this plan. I see the tidal wetland boundary.
Actual mean high water?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if that makes a difference for you guys.
Just another one that's got to go back to the drawing board for, yeah?
well, the
Alright.
mean
Is it
high,
more-
the
yeah.
mean high water is where the Phragmites takes over down there. That's where it used to go up to.
Yeah, the tidal wetland boundary
Yeah,
for the
which
most
would-
part.
But you need that depicted on the,
Right.
Just noted on there. Okay,
Yes.
That's fine. And then we'll find out what's going on with the grounding, and what do you want to know what the new system is gonna be? If
Yes.
it goes into the wetlands at all?
if it
Yeah,
goes
they're
into-
gonna tie into the existing one,
Yeah,
you know.
When
yes.
can you get this information and these additions made, and we'll put this back on the agenda?
Probably very quickly, because I think there was a whole engineering part that, that would have the answer to that I don't have the
Okay.
answer to.
All right.
You know, so they probably know
So-
exactly what they're doing at this point.
Okay, so you want to put this on for the next session, or you want to wait till you contact us with what you have?
I'll contact you, I'll
Okay.
give an email and I'll contact you and let them know,
Okay.
Okay,
and I'll find out more details on that.
very good.
Sound good?
Yep,
Thank
so
you.
we will see you back on both of these.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
I want to jump a little bit out of order here. I see I have Jackie Fenlon here, and I have Matt Jessica from LK McLean. I want to have you come up.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's
Hello.
really nice to sit before
How you doing?
Good, how are you? Hi.
Good summer and everything?
Yes, very good. What about you guys?
Yes.
Very good.
This is a Southampton Town project.
Yes, so,
Look what a folder full of money for.
yeah, so this is what people referred to as Bel Air Cove, which was the previous motel site in Hampton Bays. So we are looking now to do a passive park. And so the general application is to have some accessory parking, a small park, like loop trail. And the main reason we're here before you today is to do a low sill bulkhead and replace the existing bulkhead along the water's edge along Penny Pond.
On this project, you had me at hello. It's been a bit of an eyesore down there for quite some time, and we're gonna join in on this project as well.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely, and I was gonna say it'll complement the trustee application right next door.
Correct. I think that this needs to be a situation for the benefit of the public and the environment that is done, like this holistic type of project where we are working collaboratively for the greater good. I think it's,
Well, I have a couple of questions. You do realize that there's a drain pipe that runs into the head of the creek there, right?
Off the trustees' property.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's filled in the creek considerably over the last, like, 30 or 40 years. So is there any intentions of any removal of that material out of there to make it a little bit deeper?
We just, the DEC permit application considers some ancillary dredging. We didn't ask for a dredging permit from the DEC, but, there is a permit. Well, once we get the permit, there'll be the ability to remove some material.
Like a reclamation dredging?
yeah, well, if it's
Yeah.
ancillary dredging, I think that's what would handle it.
Right,
I think
adjacent to the bulkhead
Yeah.
type of
Correct.
thing. So, the Bel Air Cove bulkhead is kind of failed, and there's, material that's
Yes.
kind of in the water from that. And so, once we construct the low sill bulkhead, we need some material, back in that area.
And you
So
can use that
maybe we can use some of that
Yeah.
material.
It's a
And
good organic material, and it would, for wetlands grasses.
the other thing too is, so your property, tomorrow, we have to do a water quality presentation for the town board for that parcel. And so if you've got the drain pipe that's connected to that drainage structure that's on the north end of your property, what we'll have to do with that project is probably remove that drain pipe, which would be a good thing for the town because we can remove an outfall from the MS4 system. And then your property, we're considering removing the entire impervious parking area and doing the same thing that we're doing at the Bel Air Cove property, which is like a soil restoration project, meadow type setup. So we put up some fencing from the station, so nobody can park in there, fencing along Shinnecock Road, so nobody can pull off there, leave the drainage structure itself, but then you'll have a bioswale and a meadow on your portion.
Kayak
But
racks.
it'll tie in, and the kayak racks, and it'll tie into the property, the adjacent property, that's the CPF parcel.
Right, so now you're cleaning the whole place up real nice.
Yeah, so-
And that's what I think the community
So
deserves
we
down
would
there.
wrap the low sill bulkhead around onto your property as well.
And you would feather it into the property to
Feather
the
in,
east.
on the property to the east end, we're gonna feather it in on the property to the
South.
south.
Yes.
So it goes from a .11, so 0.11, I think, is where it's set, and then it goes up to a 3.5, because I think the neighbor is 3.47, something like that. So we're gonna go up to 3.5, and then the back bulkhead behind it will be elevation 3.5.
Yeah, once you establish a good buffer there and the grasses grow, it should stay there forever. But
Right.
taking some of that material out, so when you do launch a kayak or a canoe or whatever, that you're not on dry, mucky ground, that's,
Right. Yeah.
in my mind, I would like to
Oh,
see
yeah.
it a little bit deeper where there's a foot or so or 2 feet of water when you get into it, and so it's much more of a usable area, because at a winter low tide, it's completely dry there now.
Right, in that northwest corner, it is
Yeah, yeah.
pretty dry.
Yeah.
We didn't wanna go after like a dredging.
I'm just
Fine.
more like a reclamation
Well,
dredging.
yeah.
Yeah, it's,
you just-
it's like 12 foot out and 4 foot down. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
you're just gonna
allowed
pull
anyway.
it back.
Right.
And
You're
all
gonna
that
have
material
to.
can be used for the wetlands restoration behind the Losa bulkhead.
Okay, so this, description here, we don't consider any of that in this, but I know the permit that went to the DEC, usually it's, some sort of ancillary material that's fallen in, that
Correct.
type of thing.
It's gotta come
To
back.
allow us to.
Correct, it's
bring
gotta
it
come back.
Right.
You want them to add the reclamation dredging language to To the cover sheet?
It's almost like just,
I don't really need them to
Happens.
do that, yeah. Because we're in with the same application for ourselves here, you know, because we're a partner in this whole thing.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to make the project work, you know, really well. I mean.
Oh, no, it's gonna work, and
the
that's what it-
intentions is what the community wants.
That's
It's just,
gonna
you know,
occur, I just think it's a matter
The
of,
DEC's already agreed to a
Right.
height on the low sill.
we haven't received comment yet from them. We did receive comment from the Army Corps of Engineer with some questions that we're addressing this week,
There-
but nothing from the
There's a
DEC.
low sill bulkhead at the Ponquag Manor that we permitted, and then there's one right across the street, I think it's 17 Allison maybe, that was just put in,
Okay.
that I worked on with the Army Corps and the DEC, or we worked on it. So those are two elevations that you could shoot for this project.
Okay.
So if you
That
had-
elevation would have to be on the cover sheet,
Yeah,
once it's established, because the DEC keeps changing their mind of what a low sill bulkhead height should really be.
So then, like, if they give us like no comment and it's 0.11, do we have to define that elevation on this cover sheet for you guys to define that it's at, 0.11, or just, you know?
it's nice to know the elevation that the bulkhead's set at, so when we have another application come before us, and that's been approved, and, in the future, we could look at each one of the sites and say, well, this is a success, because initially the Ponquag Manor, or the old Allen's Acres, the bulkhead was, low sill bulkhead was put in there, but then they asked to raise it up, I think, 6 more inches. At that time, when they raised it up, it made it much more of a functional bulkhead where the wetlands really took off and, did fantastic over there. So the elevation, that was the first initial one that our board really did on the South Shore, and that we learned from that. And then one right across at Allison that we worked with the homeowner and Cole Environmental, I think is a good project too. So those are two projects that are now functioning, and that you can take a little bit of a,
If you get that elevation, then the DEC signs off on it, then you can put that to
Yeah.
update what
The D-
that height is.
Yeah, the DEC analyst met us on site at the Allison Lane site and went over it, and the Army Corps, we had literally a whole army of people there, so, which worked out.
and you're doing your research, obviously, and you're taking your elevations,
We've
you're
done a
analyzing it.
few, yeah, I think we've done a few, maybe not with the town of Southampton, but town of Southold, maybe we've got.
The
something.
consultant that did the project at Allison is in the audience out there if you want to contact him. If you,
I can speak with you after.
Okay.
yeah, so, and it's working, so.
Okay, great. Great, yeah, no, this should be a great project, full restoration of the entire site, nice shade shelter, some walking trails,
Yeah,
gravel parking area, bioswale.
public access, that's what it's all about.
Public
Yeah,
access.
just that note of the public access, what is the public access gonna be going over the wetlands, over the low sill?
There's going to be a bridge from the upper bulkhead, which is at 3.5, with a short timber catwalk that then goes out to a platform to a floating dock.
And the floating dock is in this application,
Yes.
and so we're gonna have to, because the depths, we're gonna have to agree to that.
That's why we need the dredging.
That's why we need to make sure that we have 2.5 foot underneath
Right. Yep.
that dock, and then everything's clean as corn.
The
I think
dredging
that-
is in the plan here.
And the floating dock is not towards the northwest corner. I know you guys had a floating kayak launch off of your property at one point in time. This floating dock's more, I guess, towards the middle of the.
Yeah, because of the property
property
to
and
the
floats
east.
out
And
to
that-
the
that-
south.
That's the property, that's the station bars floating, it was there.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think you had some, or maybe they had put it on your property.
Yeah, it was,
Came off of-
yeah, we moved it a few times.
We've been getting abused over there.
Yes.
People of the town of Southampton have been getting a little bit taken advantage of over there, and I don't think it's good. I think this needs to be cleaned up properly, the whole environmental aspect of it, obviously, and everybody in the public should be able to enjoy this property nicely, and I think that that's what this addresses, everybody coming together to make it much better.
There's a lot of homeowners near, adjacent or close to this property that would utilize it for kayaks and paddle boards if it was cleaned
It's
up.
going to be very popular, in my opinion, and it's just way better for the environment, so.
Did you do a soil analysis on our little piece of property? Because there was an asphalt road that was underneath there years ago.
Only thing we've done with you guys so far is put the water quality grant application
Okay.
together. And so, we assumed that we're gonna have to reclaim a significant amount of, material on the top and then supplement with topsoil or whatever to
Okay.
try to make it a viable, plantable.
Yep.
Yeah, and we reviewed that this summer with the Water Quality Advisory Review Board, and they were very happy to hear of the low sill concept, and I think they'll be even greater to hear about, we can look at the drainage for the outfall
Yeah,
pipe
Absolutely.
that's huge.
to,
The
remove
town's
that.
plumbed incorrectly in various different aspects, and that's why we're working on these swales and everything else, right? So if we can be addressing these things, as we are, pretty diligently, I would say, I think that you're gonna see some real positive impact from that, and we just got to continue working together and keep that momentum running forward.
Oh,
These will be two complementary projects where we can do a low sill bulkhead will be, built around the same time. And then also reclaim the area that was previously disturbed by parking, either from the motel, parking that's happening on the trustee property, and then being able to also cohesively look at drainage even as it goes down Shinnecock Road in that vicinity.
Right, absolutely. Ideally, this should all be done in one shot for mobilization and
That's, yeah.
demobilization costs and everything else.
That's the hope,
That's-
is that
yeah,
we
that's the
can,
objective.
Is there a wetland maintenance kind of program as far as like the 3-year, like we do on a lot of other low sill projects, as far as like making sure that it's,
Well, I think it's gonna be a project that's bonded for at least
well,
a year.
on
It'll be
their
bonded
property?
for
Yes.
1-year maintenance bond, but we do on a lot of our projects put in a 3 or 5-year landscape maintenance type contract.
Which is
That the
really-
contractor is then on the hook for the next 3 years to come in, maintain.
Yeah, because if you get some Canadians that come in there and hammer it,
Right.
we just want to ensure that it's
Yeah.
maintained.
Yeah. Because once it takes over and really takes off, it'll just be self-sufficient.
I just want to make sure it's followed through,
Yeah.
like I don't want to see a nice project get kind of forgotten about because somebody's not on the hook for making sure that it's
That's a good point, and I think we can notice that in the bid.
We'll put it in, we typically, when we do something like that, put it in as a payment item so that they, specifically calls their attention to the fact that they have this for 3 years or whatever.
If we get a dry summer and those grasses aren't watered they're not gonna make it, so you might have to replant it, so we wanna make sure that there's funding for that moving forward.
Right.
This summer was quite dry.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this does have some irrigation, not for the, for the upland areas, just to try to get establishment, really.
Right.
Yep.
That makes sense.
And we're hoping this to be kind of a low-maintenance project once everything
That's-
has.
Yeah.
Correct.
the goal.
Passive, very passive. and-
Passive, native
Yes,
All
vegetation.
native, yeah.
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 That's the idea.
Yeah, a nice, beautiful park for the public to enjoy, launch a kayak from the CAPF property, but essentially to the public, it'll all look kind of like one cohesive project.
That's what it's got to do.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay,
And they have a request to waive the fees,
of course.
so.
Double the fees.
From now to the board.
Yeah, that's,
Thank you, James.
So then, once we get the DEC permit and the Army Corps, we'll just. I'll be
Match
back
up
in
all the
touch.
elevations. Yeah, that way the records reflect and, yeah, exactly.
good.
That way it's seamless.
You have some plans for this?
Yep.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yep. So we can advance it.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
One cover sheet, no dissertation this time with the.
We're all good.
Thank you, everyone. It's nice
All
to see you.
good.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank
See
you
ya.
very much. Okay, so let's go back up on to JMO Environmental Consulting for 4 Stone Lane. Morning, how are you?
Good, how's
Good morning.
Good. See you, Glenn, haven't seen you in a little bit.
Laying low with tall grass.
Laying low. Just don't get any ticks. All right. want to get rid of that 152 linear feet of existing bulkhead. Bring this up, James. Install another 152 of navy vinyl sheathing, utilizing 425 shore guard, tropical hardwoods, upper and lower, all galvanized tie rods, same elevation. What are we doing about buffering? What are we doing here? You gotta do some buffering here?
Well, there's an amount of wetlands landward of the bulkhead. So all the proposed work would be done by barge. There'd be no disturbance whatsoever landward of the bulkhead. No machinery, no materials stacked there. It's going to create its own natural, I mean, there's already, it exists.
Natural wetlands there.
So we're just gonna indicate that, right? Does it really say that here? On this cover sheet?
It just needs to be shown on the
Says all
plans.
work
that
be
this-
done utilizing a barge, no equipment landward of the bulkhead.
Right, but I think you got to go a little bit further, basically saying that the wetlands that are there will be existing, right?
If you'd like, I can
Yeah.
modify it just to say that.
Yeah, because,
Are you gonna use deadmen and lay logs and stuff there, or how are you gonna?
Helical anchors.
Helical ankles, so basically you're gonna take piece by piece out and replace it? Okay,
Yep.
so there's gonna be no disturbance.
None whatsoever.
Are you gonna do it in back of the current bulkhead? Just in back of it or in
We're
front
going
of
to
it?
take the old one out,
Take, and,
But you-
yeah, you're gonna have some disturbance of it,
yeah,
a
but
sheet at a time.
yeah.
yeah, you know what you got here? You probably should, I don't know, did the plan specify where the helicals will be and where the dead men will be? Does it specify that? No.
There's no dead men there, they're just here.
Well, no, I'm just looking at the,
I would just like to show 5 foot, if you
But
could
it-
just show it on the plan that it's 5 foot back is gonna be Spartina.
It's going to be what?
Spartina, which is what's existing there already. Grass.
well, just to back up for 1 second here, is you got on here 3/4 by 16 galvanized tie rods with dead men or helical anchor piles.
Okay.
Right, so you gotta, that's a,
Yeah, that's one or the other.
right, so you're saying helical, but the paperwork's saying or, so, and that's
Go with the
where,
helical.
right, so you have to,
establish that.
right, you gotta clarify that in the paperwork, so just clarify that way there's no question if something's not done
There's one
correct.
way that's gonna be, like 15 feet of disturbance if you could put lay logs and dead men.
Right, so-
If the helicals, you're just gonna screw them into.
Right, so
Yeah.
amend that to eliminate the dead men and say that it's gonna be done utilizing the helicals, and then indicate, that there'll be no disturbance to the upland buffering, right? That way that covers those two aspects.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Looks nice now, I mean.
Yes, yeah, I mean, you're right by doing it from the seaward side, because it does look like it's, right?
There's gonna be no elevation change.
Right,
it's
so
gonna-
you-
Elevation change
you got
whatsoever,
everything-
so
What's
it's
there now will be.
You got everything working
consistent.
right now. You got everything working nicely, with the exception of the bulkhead's gotta be replaced, right? So what you're doing should be a good project.
And the returns, you're gonna go back the same as what they are currently?
Exactly.
So you're not gonna change anything, you're not gonna change the
Gonna
footprint of the
change
current
no
bulkhead?
elevation.
So it's not gonna change any of the wetlands, because you got a
10 or
nice,
15.
you got a beautiful wetland right here, just to the south of that, so.
Right, so you gotta just make those,
And just this walkway along the,
That's going to be replaced in kind in place. Again, I mean, the material will come in by barge and the workers will come in by barge.
Open grade decking,
Pardon?
open grade decking on top or not?
but is that on here?
No, it's not. Joe's asking if you could do open grade decking
Yeah.
instead of the,
Yeah,
It says reconstruct in kind in place the 4x90 foot timber walk on grade. I'll make it
yeah,
with through flow.
I prefer that, yeah.
Something I missed.
So the cover sheet and the plans with all that.
yeah, so no dead men and through flow.
Yeah,
decking.
exactly.
And you're gonna use the vinyl bulkhead?
Yes,
And
You're gonna
no
put a
disturb-
cap, the rest of the bulkhead where, shore guard 425.
Change of elevation.
Okay.
Okay. You got that, James?
Yeah, we'll, not hold till we get that.
All right. Make a couple tweaks, all right? Make a couple tweaks that we discussed, and then
back
we'll
to you.
get it right back, and then we'll get right on going again, okay?
Thank you.
Yep.
Be well, everyone.
You too.
You too.
Okay, it's on hold. So then we have 46 Rampasture owners, R&W engineers.
Morning.
Morning.
If you remember, this is for the replacement of the existing bulkhead and replacing a temporary dock with a permanent dock, all inclined.
Okay.
If you remember at our last meeting, the discussion was on Cape American beach grass. We've changed the drawings to include that grass, 12 inches on center, so there'll be 9 alternating rows of this beach grass plantings, 12 inches on center.
Oh, nice.
Great.
And everyone was kind of open to it. I take it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say there's not totally, but it is what
Gotta
it
do what you
is.
gotta do.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
I think they're gonna be happy with it once it's finished.
I mean, the biggest concern was ticks, getting ticks within, because there's 2 houses right adjacent to the bulkhead. They're concerned with the ticks, but
There's a wide walkway to the dock, you should be fine, you know. Just don't walk in
Just
the
don't
grass.
roll around in the grass.
Yeah.
Take your nap someplace else.
it actually, it will give it a nice look, though.
It
It'll
will.
look natural, and it'll be functional, too.
If you look at people that have done great jobs with native vegetative buffers, they're beautiful. They really are.
You
know.
brought up, the root system ties everything together, so when, on that occasion, we do have the spillage onto
Overtops.
the property.
Northwest
It'll
of it
stay-
blows
it'll
it
stay
together, yeah.
Yes, it will. It'll be
Actually,
much more.
During Hurricane Erin, we rode our bikes over Quag Bridge and happened to notice a house right over there that had, you know, the bay was going up onto the lawn, and then a week later, it's all brown and dead,
Yeah.
you know.
And
No need for
we
that.
We have
actually,
that now,
that's a good
actually.
point.
Yeah,
we have
Every
that
year
now
we
in a
have
couple
that
of
now.
spots.
We replant in the spring, and then come the next winter, it's dead
But
again.
aside from just being brown and dead, if it's something that is a direct hit, not just a going by creating the surge, you know, it'll hollow out all that material behind the bulkhead, and you'll have unequalized pressure, and you run the risk of it just totally collapsing at that point, then all bets are off. So it actually can help hold that all together. It's designed to do that, so there's benefits beyond just it going brown.
That's why we're here, we're trying to do it
Yeah.
before the bulkhead.
I mean,
quits.
your project's gonna complement the Shinnecock Bay restoration that we worked so hard with the college, reestablishing the shellfish in western Shinnecock Bay, so you're one of the properties, so little by little, we knock off the properties and keep making them more environmentally stable and friendly, so, you know, eventually, we're gonna turn that brown tide and poor water quality completely out of the bay, so.
The temporary dock has gotta be a nightmare for the environment, because we go in
Constant
there,
disturbance.
we're gonna take it out in a few weeks, and next spring, we put it back in.
In a lot of instances, the species that live there, they like structure, they like to get around structure. If you go fishing, you're always looking for structure, because that's where a lot of stuff's going on.
Temporary
you know.
docks were initially permitted by the DEC because of the ice. They didn't want the much larger docks, which are way more expensive to put in. So they would just have a local contractor come down with a barge and put these docks in. There were multiple docks throughout the town where Tiana Bay hasn't had an ice buildup since really the 70s, where there was probably 1.5 feet of ice. And almost all the docks, even the larger ones, got pulled up. So putting more of a permanent structure there and not disturbing the bottom is actually a good thing. But back in the day, in the 70s and 60s, the DEC,
Pulled up the docks, huh?
They would grab it and pull it up.
That much
And you'd
weight.
see where contractors didn't, you're supposed to put fat side down, and if you put the fat side up, it would just get a nice tight grip and,
yeah, the ice would pull up the
Right
whole
on.
entire dock. If you take pictures of your docks or the area in like 77 there was a lot of ice on that bay, and there was a lot of damage. And that's why we used to give, ice damage to all the homeowners instead of getting a permit, they could just come in and say they had ice damage, show us some pictures, and we would give a permit for them, or permission for them. But then a lot of the docks got completely replaced with no permits, so.
It's a whole new world, because now
So,
people
yeah.
are taking advantage of
But-
things, and it was all
yeah.
going bad. So now we handle things
Yes.
differently now,
So
a lot of things.
we're stamped, they basically did everything we kind of asked, so I think we can
Yep.
advance it.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you for working with us. Okay, thank you for coming down.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for your cooperation. All right, so Eddie, you have Max New York Management?
Yes.
I see Mr. Wayne Bruin here.
This is a unique application.
Have a good day.
Take care.
Okay, Jim.
Good morning, board members. Wayne Bruin, O'Shea, Marcinsick and Bruin for the applicants. So this is on Shinnecock Bay, 322 East Montauk Highway is the address. I don't know if you had an opportunity to read my August 8th letter. If not, I'll give you a brief summary.
Could you do that for
Brief
for the
summary.
public and the?
Yeah. So, just a couple surveys that are here in the current plan. So our clients purchased this property in 2017. It had gone into foreclosure, that it was sold to another company, and then eventually our clients purchased it. But in 2012, the property was damaged by Hurricane Sandy. It was flooded, that's directly on the bay there. They attempted to get restoration permits. The prior owner, when foreclosure didn't proceed. Our clients, when they purchased in 2017, started a permit process to basically lift the building, restore the house, and do a number of things. And each step of the way, they were told what they needed to do. The first thing was the health department required the replacement of the old non-conforming sanitary system. They required a new IA system. And the site is barely 69 feet in depth now, 50 feet wide, a little over 3,000 square feet. When it was originally created on the map as Shinnecock Hills, it extended all the way to Shinnecock Beach Road and then another 50 feet to the water. So there was a lot of change over the last 100 or so years. They started with Marty Shea and the health department. They received those permits. They received permission from the DEC, and they also received necessary variances because of the size and location and lifting, pyramid variances and the like. They applied for a building permit last December, and the building department said, well, you're replacing the bulkhead that is out there. We believe you need something from the trustees. They didn't know what to do. Our clients actually didn't hire any consultants or any attorney throughout this process. And they knocked on my door a few months ago, and I started looking at this. And interestingly, the first thing I do is look at all the existing town records. And there were applications going back. These houses that were on this property, this house and the adjacent property were once together. And this is a survey from Squires and Holden from 1963. And they received variances to subdivide the two lots because they didn't even comply to the 1957 zoning code. And they thereafter received permits. But in 1963, Elbert Robinson, a local attorney, approached this board, the Board of Trustees, and I only found out about this because in the property tax records, the old tax assessor's records, which are online on the GIS, there's a entry in there referring to a 1963 quitclaim deed from this Board of Trustees to the owner of the property, quitclaiming any interest the trustees had in the property. And the interest, what prompted that was a 1931 survey that you may recall. That was the Baird survey, who prepared a survey on behalf of the town trustees, engaged him, prepared this survey, and he depicted what was Shinnecock Beach Road. And the interesting, I don't want to go back, you probably all know the history of Shinnecock Beach Road, but this was something that the trustees originally, when they was the proprietors or whoever it was, conveyed all the bay bottoms to Shinnecock Hills, the good developers, and then finally a settlement in 1890-something. There was a deed back to the trustees, but which included a right-of-way measured from the mean high water mark of 50 feet from Shinnecock Beach.
Long Island Improvement Association
Yes.
and Barnes Realty.
Exactly. And that was embodied in the Shinnecock Hills amended map A, the subdivision map that was filed, and it showed Shinnecock Beach Road. And the question is, what happened since all that time? The turn of the century, a lot of erosion along the bay. In any case, I saw that entry. I then went back to the trustee minutes, got a copy of the deed, actually a quitclaim deed from the trustees, looked in the minutes in '63, and in fact, there was a meeting where the board, just like this, where Mr. Robinson presented the map, looked at it and said, we have this problem. And this survey was this line, and it says, north line of Shinnecock Beach Road as surveyed by C.W. Baird, April 1931 for the trustees. And it was this survey that Albert Robinson was looking at and saying, well, we got a title problem. We got an alleged trustee road going right through the center of our houses. That's a problem. And so he appeared before the board, and the board in turn granted a quitclaim deed, quitclaim in any interest in this property, these two properties. And it's unique. I haven't seen this anywhere else along this bay. So we're here, as you said, this is a little unusual.
Right.
It's pretty unique. So the trustees quitclaimed your interest. Notwithstanding that, I mean, thereafter, there were permits granted and so on, never referring to the trustee issues again. There was an application, and both Joe and Ed were helpful in helping me get the records for the trustees, where the bulkhead that was shown here in '63 was replaced in 1970 or 1981. And none of the records indicate anything about all this prior quitclaim action or anything about it. The board just looked at it and said, fine, replace the bulkhead, boom. And it was replaced, and it's there. So what all the applications, call for now, as you might have seen, is this galley system in the front. But to make sure it's properly maintained, they want a concrete 4-foot high, 8-inch thick
wide, yeah.
concrete wall that basically surrounds the entire thing and its backfill. So we're here today on the basis that one opinion is you have no interest in the upland of this based on the quitclaim deed, but nonetheless, that existing bulkhead is now interfacing with the water. And Ed and Joe thought it would be wise for us to come to you and seek the permit that would be necessary just to recognize that existing wall being replaced.
I think that makes sense.
Is the existing wall concrete already?
It's timber.
It's CCA treated bulkhead.
Yeah.
So what, and the DEC's all right with concrete?
Board of Health, the Board of Health is mandating that wall.
Mandating.
Yeah.
So,
This is a unique situation, as you pointed out at the beginning of this.
Yes.
Well, they're looking to replace an old bulkhead that's somewhat, breaking down, treated with a concrete structure, which there are concrete walls throughout the town in different places. So they're looking basically for a bulkhead replacement, but they're utilizing this bulkhead replacement as their, I guess, cofferdam for their septic system, so that they can raise it up, and then they can put an AI system in, which is the town and health department, and everybody else is, touting that this is the standard that we have to go by now.
Nitrogen reduction.
So that we can get nitrogen reduction that goes into the bay.
And the
So
returns are gonna be extended, right, with this?
yes, they're going back.
So we
It's
permitted,
actually encompassing the whole.
I understand it's encompassing, but yeah, because once it attaches to the old existing bulkhead, it becomes
So-
more concern. And then what's the
All
depth?
bulkheads coming out.
Yeah. What's the depth of the concrete?
The depth, now you're gonna get into engineering, which I can only rely on what the plans show.
But that's important because as the erosion continues here, this bulkhead has to be, or this
Can
structure.
you help us with that?
Yeah, I'm looking, it doesn't look like it.
Because that's gonna be,
Second page.
that's gonna be kind of a big deal, is how the depth of that, as we erode, as we lose sand.
Cross section here, which I don't know, but it looks like a few feet right there on the bottom.
I don't have that current.
My glasses on.
You have the health department permit?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, that plan has the health department.
I would like,
I can't
if
read it.
possible,
I
you
can't read
to put
the
on the
dimensions.
cover sheet
What's
that
that
the
say?
wall is being constructed pursuant to that health
provide 3 foot of
permit.
cover.
I want to limit the
When
possible
concrete is in contact with
precedential
soil.
value.
It's just a note.
Absolutely, you
Yeah.
can put all that.
No, no, but I'm saying on the
So
cover
blurry.
sheet here,
Okay.
so that we could
Change that.
It's so
then
blurry.
refer to it on the permit itself.
That's really more blurry now.
But it's an engineered structure, and I'm assuming the engineer has taken into account for the erosion rate in this area. I mean, you can go back to GIS maps over the last 30 years and see that this is a highly eroded area. There have been several breakwaters or stone jetties placed there by some of the homeowners without any permits to slow the erosion process down.
Yeah, you can
I just,
see,
what I'm getting at is
for
like,
example,
when you put a timber or a vinyl sheath bulkhead in, you're able to get those
Wayne, can I see
deep,
that?
whereas when you pour a concrete bulkhead, it's gonna be very difficult to get the depth
attached to the
that you can
application.
on a vinyl sheath.
Well, we do mandate engineered stamp plans, and that's what he's got right here, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
that's on him at this point in time.
Approved by the health department, and that's what Joe was saying, is that he wants to make sure your permit is referring to probably all those other approvals.
Well, specifically the Board of Health, because it's the health department that's mandating the IA system, it would just make sense to limit any precedental value that some other homeowner, well, but you gave 322 East Montauk Highway the permission for a concrete bulkhead in
Yeah,
essence.
just my concern with those engineering plans is that it's only 3 foot below, as I can read them presently, is 3 foot below the grade of the present sand right now. Whereas if you have a vinyl sheathed bulkhead or a timber bulkhead, that sheathing goes pretty deep.
It's
You know,
like-
18 footer sometimes
Yeah,
they'll pump in.
yeah.
So it's like, if they're,
I can inquire and
it would be,
see.
I just, like, because not only that is you have a substantial septic system just behind this.
Yeah.
So I mean, the actual
no,
like
that's-
leaching is a concern to me.
When Wayne first approached me, my concern was you're gonna put a cesspool behind a retaining wall.
it's already there anyway, but
That's
yeah.
gonna be just fine for the Shinnecock Bay. But it's engineered and the Board of Health has mandated it, so I'm sure that whatever is gonna be put in is going to take into account the conditions that are encountered there, because it has to protect the septic system too.
Exactly.
Yeah. One further question. There's 2 bulkheads here. There's one that was put in, I guess, in the 50s, 70s, whenever, and then there's a second one. Which is the line that the current proposed project is going to follow?
It's that existing,
Well, they're both existing here.
the front one.
The front one,
Closest to the wall.
Yeah, I want to make sure that, because there's 18 inches of difference here.
This is pretty well dimensioned on this.
Yeah.
so.
I mean, Chip does have valid concerns about the erosion in the area, and if you pull up maps over time, and you can really see how, the beach has changed dramatically since the 70s to current.
That's a better one that,
Yeah.
from the town GIS that shows
Replenish the sand replenishing.
what other landowners are
Well,
doing.
that's another, it's on Shinnecock Beach Road, so yeah, we would ask.
Sand replenishing agreement?
Is there any sand there now?
According to the
What are you
overhead
replenishing?
there is.
That's the basic question. What are you replenishing, what doesn't
Yeah,
exist?
but every permit along the stretch.
That's the
from
only reason I
Crab
ask
Road-
is, you're talking about precedents, you know, if you're
Yeah,
talking
but
about
you're
precedents.
We're talking about 50 feet of, if we're putting 50 feet of sand, how far, what are we doing? And then we're just throwing sand there every year?
Well, I mean,
Everybody else has
They
mandated
they
it.
have these,
On the adjoining properties?
they have these agreements on that road, am I?
every one of the,
No?
Every one of the new permits that
No?
we've agreed to.
Every
on-
time you
on-
get one, but
Yeah.
Again, we're not doing anything in your right of way.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
but
have
we
a
still,
right of way is
we still
Okay, but-
mandated it when we put the structure.
that could
That's
you have a
potentially
very unique situation.
wipe out the right of way.
Well, I think-
That's
Have to take
what we're
into
trying to
account.
protect.
Yeah, but
So Wayne, I
you don't
think
have the same jurisdiction that you have on the other.
you have a unique situation. I just think it's gotta be, you know, clarified.
I'd like to discuss this in executive.
It's
Yeah.
nothing to exist.
What's that?
I said, it's not really going to pop up anywhere else, but it is a unique situation
Right,
we
so
do
you-
have to take into
I
account.
think it's just the word, right, so you could do that in the legal wording of how
Yeah.
this is permitted, and that way it's not, because you're right, everybody will come in and be pointing fingers at whatever. This is unique.
Well, yeah, and I haven't seen any other place where the trustees
Right.
expressly quit claim for consideration. You know,
Wayne,
maybe
prior
it
to
wasn't
your-
enough, but it was
Right.
$100 back in
But Wayne,
'63.
prior,
but they did it
prior
for
to your
consideration.
coming before us, neither did you or I even know about that.
Absolutely not. You know, I was counsel to the board. Was I aware of this? No. I mean, we had the infamous, what was it, Mr. Anderson, just
Yes.
to the east. None of the research,
Yeah, but his properties, his
there could
properties
be-
we
actually,
looked at everything along the way, and
But I just think,
So your landmine was inert, so to speak, and it got uncovered and it was live.
Yeah.
just a
Or
matter of.
potentially.
yeah, but
Right.
Scott, so we gotta take very good consideration, is the property just west of it is has no bulkhead, has no rocks in front of it, it's just an open bulkhead, so there's, open bulkheadless property between two bulkheads. So I like to go in executive session and really drill down on,
This, we need more understanding as a board because there's been a lot of new stuff with the quick claim deed that's come up. We need to discuss it with council.
Are you opposed to, what is the issue, like the replenishing agreement?
Replenishing agreement and,
I'd have to go back and talk to the client, but I just question what purpose are you going to
I mean,
achieve? I mean, this
this-
is 50 feet.
Right.
And do you have anybody else replenishing along that stretch? You're just throwing sand in the water every year. For what purpose?
well, we're gonna have to, there are other bulkheads that we.
there are other bulkheads that we've
committed.
approved.
Let us do a little,
That's what they're
Yeah.
saying, is that
Yeah.
this is existing, these agreements are existing on other properties.
yes.
Right? So-
On this 50-foot right-of-way.
Right, so-
So we have to confirm.
I understand,
yeah.
but not, I'm guessing not in close proximity to this property.
Right, you have a super unique
I think they
situation.
might be. I need to do some research. There's been two permits that we permitted within the last 2 years to the west of this, like 4 houses. So let Joe and I do a little bit more research.
When you speak to your client, I'll speak to mine.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and just, I'm gonna get hold of the engineer and bring up your
We
question.
just need more understanding, but I understand the project, I understand the nuances of it. The quick claim deed definitely changes the dynamics, but we need to speak as a
Yeah,
board
and-
within exec.
We're almost there.
and we
just-
understand the
We just need a
fact
little
that
clarification.
There's like no place to put this, you know, you're between a rock and a hard place here.
Yeah, I mean, we looked at it, you know, first thing it says, well, can you move the house back? It's 9 feet from Montauk Highway, so it's.
tried.
Yeah, I mean, you asked all the right questions. We
Well,
talked.
and we're
We
up,
had a good discussion.
we're trying to upgrade the septic, which I am definitely a proponent of. So the
Lifting
long and
the
the short of
house.
it, yeah, and, you know, we're trying to do the right thing.
Right, in the end, it'll be better than it is. It's just, we have to just get this.
We are gonna be setting a precedent here, so
Well,
that's,
but-
that's where we need
well-
to have our attorney discuss it at length.
Yeah.
We'll discuss this between
Yep.
now and then, and you talk to your client, and I'll talk to mine.
Right, so you have to make it so that it's not setting a precedent because it's that
Almost
unique of
there.
a situation.
Well, that's, yeah.
right?
I think that's why I wrote the letter and gave you all that
Right,
information.
exactly. So it's
that
not setting a
nobody else
precedent.
could come in and
Correct.
say,
It's-
hey, I got this whole
Right,
history
well-
here too.
Right, well, that's my point.
Yeah.
We're
I
not,
mean, the only other property is the adjoining one to the east.
Yeah.
Because that was subdivided,
it.
so the quick
Yeah.
claim deed carries with that one as well. Yes, I understand that. But it looks like they have that pretty much blacktopped and decked over already, so.
but, okay, so beyond that.
They elevated the house, they have a good bulkhead, so they're good. It's this house we're dealing with.
Beyond
right
that,
now.
that's not setting a precedent, because to your point, there are no other, right?
Well,
So that's not setting,
Again, we didn't know about that landmine that was
I was gonna
existing.
say,
well, then it goes to the law of it is what it is, you know? I mean, what-
you know, the interesting thing is you can now on, all your minutes are online, and you can do that search function. So you could start
Wealth of
searching
knowledge.
Shinnecock Beach Road,
Right.
whatever you need to do, and you can pull up.
all kinds of stuff.
And there's also an old maxim, in ignorance there is bliss, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Wayne.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, moving right along here, moving right along. So we did yours already. So we've got 12 Cricket Path. I see DKR Shores. Gina is here. And Trustee Parsons says Peter Mutafas, right?
Yep, I was over there last week. Yeah, the bulkhead's in pretty raw shape.
Hello, Gina.
Is it possible to read the proposals, because some of us can't see what's on there?
We could read
You know,
proposals.
like,
I always try and read
When you do the
proposals. sure.
application, like you just see the name, you don't actually read the proposal. So I'm like back there going, wait, am I hearing this right? Is he doing a
Septic system on the bay.
concrete?
Huh?
Was that an application for concrete?
Well, yeah,
bulkhead?
because of the fact it's part of the sanitary system.
All right, well, I did all of those other approvals for that crazy lady. And I told her the bulkhead was gonna be a problem. She told me I didn't know what I was talking about. And I will go on record for this. So, concrete bulkhead, drive steel.
What's the Board of Health, I think, is mandating
No,
this, yeah.
it's a retaining wall behind. You could still do a bulkhead in front. You could do a cantilevered, you could do drive steel, you could do a double seawall that doesn't require structure behind it. So there's other options besides concrete. Drive steel.
Yeah, this is why this has all gotta be an executive, because the concrete kind of drove me a red flag,
Concrete.
but yeah.
Drive steel in front of it. That's it, done. Or you could do vinyl, actually. Just do double seal. Just saying. Okay,
We're gonna have an executive
back
session.
to mine.
Okay.
Yes, okay, bed
Cricket.
sheet.
Cricket.
This guy just bought this property, by the way, and he's trying to fix it up, you know, so, the whole cul-de-sac is like, well, you know, I had the guy across the
Across the
street,
way,
Perel.
yeah.
I'm like,
Looks great,
"Hi,
actually."
How you doing? Doesn't it look good?
Looks real nice.
Right? Yeah, and then I'm gonna put it right out there, at the get-go. They're the neighbor, so there's a weird, right-of-way that comes up around the property.
Is that on the northern
And
side there?
Notice that
Because there's a second
float
floating
there
dock, yeah. I was gonna ask you about
that's
that.
not permitted. So this guy buys the property, and my owner is like, what's with the float? I said, oh, that float's mine. I said, you need to tell that guy to get his float off of your property. Just because he owns the right of way and has access to the water doesn't mean he has the right to put in a float without a permit. So I think that was done, but I told him he has to do it.
Pretty sure that floats on our property, correct?
I believe it's on an easement that goes through Pete's property.
But the float is on our bay bottoms, unless this is.
Oh, you mean like it's sitting on the bottom? What
Well,
is
it's
that?
connect,
What
I
does
mean,
that
if there's a
How's it
pole,
affixed?
it's affixed.
If it's not
I think
tidal
it's
and floating.
I don't know. I think it's affixed to his bulkhead, which I told him you would have to advise this guy. He's
Yeah, the
got-
right of way.
Is he replacing the bulkhead? Is that what he's looking to do, or?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
if it's affixed to his bulkhead, it will be removed.
it's gonna be
during-
removed regardless, but he was
Construction.
giving the guy notice, you know, because that's the right thing to do.
Okay,
On our-
But it's not my client's problem.
right.
I mean, it's his problem, but it's not his fault, is what I'm saying.
Understood. Not to be held
So,
against
We're just
him,
doing the
right.
bulkhead,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there, what is that other structure that's in the water closer to the house? Is that another float?
There's a
Could
jet
be
ski float
part of the
there.
neighbor too. Oh, no,
Oh.
I think that's just a plastic jet ski float.
Does that have a,
There is a,
It's pre-existing, no.
that's gonna need?
it's this guy here,
It's a different permit.
but there's also a
Yes,
floating
di-
dock
Different permit.
off
Yeah,
of
it's
the
different permit.
dock over here.
So there's another float hanging around in there? too?
There's a,
The prior owner, I think, had
So
this
all that's
plastic.
going, right?
It's all
Everything's going?
It's all going.
Okay.
I'm like, if we're gonna do a float, we're gonna do it right, we're gonna apply separately, the bulkhead's gonna get done first, that's the priority.
Good idea.
Everything's going. This is just about the bulkhead.
Elevation higher on the bulkhead?
So it's gonna match the neighbor, which is way to the north, actually. So it's gonna be a little bit higher, but it's gonna match the guy next door. Let me just get this out.
Would you want her to add
This
to
guy?
the plans that the
There it
two
is.
floats be removed? So it's clear.
It has to be.
What I could say is, I don't know if I want to specify someone else's floats, that any other illegal structure shall be removed.
Unpermitted.
Any unpermitted structure shall be removed. I could do that, yes.
Does the elevation on the plans?
it's in matching adjacent,
Right.
which is to the north, which is up here.
So that's at
That's gonna be-
hold on, I did it, 253. So it'll go from 253 to 264 elevation.
Okay, see, I didn't actually get
I
up
have that on the
there, because it's
plans.
up in the marsh up there.
So it goes up to 2.64.
Right. Your neighbor to the south has a significantly higher bulkhead also, just so you guys know, like, they're already
Yeah, I'm not
significantly
gonna,
lower than the
we're
house
not
to the
going that
south.
high.
Yeah,
That elevation where I hit him is at 248. It's not going that high.
right.
And what's the planting that we have behind it?
It says no, non-turf buffer area. Could we get plants?
So I have part of it stone. He wanted me to ask for some stone. So what I could do, actually, and I have authorization to also reduce the amount of decking that we're proposing. I have it at 100 feet, I believe, and he would like 80. So I can authorize a 20-foot reduction in the decking.
Oh,
And
I
then
don't-
if we
I never-
could at
have I
least
seen-
do stone behind the decking part.
I don't know if I saw the decking in the plans that I had.
Yeah, it's 100, it's 4 by 100, like a boardwalk behind. To install a 4 by 100 untreated material boardwalk.
Oh, here it is, yep.
So I could take that down to 80. He said I could do 80, that's fine. If we could do stone behind the 80, that'd be cool, and I'll do beach grass for the rest.
Sounds
Like
sensible.
it, yeah, right. Workable. Yeah.
Stone only, and then beach grass. Okay?
Sounds sensible.
So just update the plans.
Yep. And then get it stamped.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. Do you want to look at it before I send it to get it stamped? Or do you want me to just do it and get it
Well,
stamped?
we're gonna hold it till we get that, and then we'll go back on the work session, or are you guys comfortable?
Up to you.
How much of a rush are you in? Is this, can we go with it with more? You know, I think you're in a rush. I mean, if you're gonna do that, it's fine with me. I mean, if you're gonna make those changes,
Yeah, I'll make them. It's
that-
easy.
that's fine with me.
So it's basically, if the changes are made, the next time we look at it, everything will be there that we've asked for.
Correct.
So it'll be an approvable.
Right.
It'll be advanceable.
Advanceable, it'll be advanceable.
Yeah,
And you don't, if you put the stamp plans in there,
It'll go faster.
instead of being
Right.
yeah.
advanced
Because you-
plans.
You're doing everything the board's asking you for. You
Okay.
know what I mean, to do, the buffering
Do
and,
that. So it's basically being held for written submission.
right,
That's what we call it.
and then you supply the plans, it'll move that much faster.
Plans and cover sheet.
And the cover sheet,
Got it, no problem.
we'll get that off.
Done.
Awesome.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Is that all you
Thank
have
you
today?
so much.
That's it, right?
That's it. I have stuff on for approval later.
Later.
The plans,
Okay.
but that's it to talk about. Thank you so
So
much.
so then we have 3 Bay Meadow, Cole Environmental, Mr. Richard Flicker.
Hey, Chris. That shoreline there now
Yes.
is really nice and really functional.
It is, yes, except for
That
a little
one spot.
section, yeah, right
Mhm,
underneath
underneath
the
the
dock. And I've got some photos for the rest of you guys if you want to see. Just have a little bit of erosion underneath the dock that we're seeking to rocks, fill, and plantings.
Scarfing out there.
And basically reestablish the shoreline with a little rock toe. So, yeah, basically just here to go over that with you guys and see if there's any questions or comments on the overall plan.
Did you ever get any word back about the roadway there?
Yes, I think the highway department put in some crushed stone at that. There's erosion at the street, there's a drain, and I think the highway department put in some stone to stabilize that, so
Right.
that won't be part of this application here.
The dock that's currently there,
Yes.
is it the lack of grasses because of the material that's been used on the dock? Or,
It's through flow and it's up high.
yeah, I'm
so-
looking at the ramp and it's like, I didn't see, I was wondering what was up high.
Yeah,
I see
it's through flow, so,
It's like 4 feet.
it's
plus.
yeah. So, I think maybe just over time, some wave action eroded it, and I know the area has been dredged, another
The stuff
project.
with the through flow, we generally see thriving beneath, right?
Yeah, and that's why we're thinking just a little bit of stone, rocks, and replanting it should, recreate that low marsh and high marsh underneath it.
Yeah, once you get the toe established, it's not gonna wanna go seaward.
Exactly.
Stuff will grow behind it. And it looks like it's a flourishing wetlands there right now. I mean, it's.
Yeah,
other
everything
than that
else
little
looks-
bit of
It's a nice
erosion.
shoreline.
I believe so. I think there's,
You come in on that? What is that? What
That's
letter?
as far as I can go, and there's a, looks like a 6x20 wood, and then there's a black.
I doubt you have
I
permit for
don't
that.
think we have,
I don't
I think we have permit
permits
for the
that.
main float. but
Yeah, I
not
think that's gonna have to,
removed as part of the,
yeah, we gotta clean it up, we're cleaning it up. You can't do that, yeah. It's on the survey too, so we wouldn't, no.
okay. Well, we can note.
We gotta
to-
take a look at that. That's gotta be either, legalized or removed.
Okay. And you would want it to be removed?
Well, it's either gotta
Are
be
they jet
compliant
ski
or not
float? I
compliant.
mean,
Yeah, jet ski floats.
Yeah, so then you need a permit for
Jet
two,
ski floats.
if it's 2 jet ski
It
floats.
looks like it's one float.
Yeah, I think it is. It's one connected float.
5x26 jet ski float, it says.
Right, so
We can note to.
You're gonna have to, that's gotta be a separate application, and we're not gonna be able to move forward until they clean that up.
Okay.
This is you, right? You wanna see this?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Sounds good. Thanks, Chris.
So either way, remove it or come in for a separate application
Yes.
with
I
that.
think you're gonna have to, yeah,
You should remove it for this application because the jet ski float would be a
It's separate
separate
app-
application.
right, it's gotta be on there, on this application, that it will be removed.
Yes.
It will be removed, and then,
He can
now that
apply
we see
for
it, if it does show back up again, we will be giving it a violation.
Gotcha. And any other comments or questions about like the shoreline erosion plan?
No, it seems pretty straightforward.
No, you're looking for a few rocks here just to shore up the two. I mean, it's, what is it, like 6 or 8 feet? I mean, it's not a lot of,
It's,
Hopefully it works.
yeah, it's 24 feet. We're gonna go on both sides.
Okay,
And
of
we're
the
gonna kinda
dock?
take, yeah, it's hard to see from the aerial.
is
but
there a tree that's just south of that laying over?
Yeah,
Is it dead, are they dead?
yeah, there's some that are dead and kind of like in the
Are
water.
you gonna remove them so you
I
can
think
get to
that's
the
the plan,
project?
yeah, to remove those.
Yeah, because their roots, being they're dead, is pulling all the soil down.
Yeah.
So if you put a lower bush, like a, Chip would say a high tide bush there, right?
An Iva, yeah.
Yeah, something that's, yeah, with good root system, and it would work.
I like them.
Yeah.
Like tide bush.
Yeah,
Makes sense. Okay.
yep, yeah, okay.
All right, so yeah, we'll just note to remove the jet ski and then get back into you. And we're in with the DEC and there's been no real comments. So.
Gonna do jet skis, gotta bring that in on a separate application.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Not a problem.
And the plans are stamped, so just make those corrections and then
And bring it back to
you
you
wanna
guys.
hold it, or you?
Well, those stamp plans have the existing float on them, so
That's gotta be amended.
That's gotta go.
It's gotta go. We're not gonna approve that.
So hold it, remove that stuff.
Yeah.
Stamp them again,
Resubmit.
and then we can.
Yeah.
Get back to you.
Yeah, you gotta give us stuff that's not showing things that are not permitted, because we don't wanna make any representations
Yep.
there.
Not a problem.
Yeah, not happening.
All right, very good. Thanks, guys.
Okay? Thank you. All right, so then we have general permit applications for determination. We've got 111 Summerwind.
Stamp plans, good to go.
You good?
Yep.
Advanced.
I believe the neighbor is also the same.
At 113?
It's a adjoining property at 113.
Yeah. Alexandra Nalajovic. Stamp plans for their modification.
This is good.
Well, that's some project.
That's a different
Yeah,
one.
really.
Oh, sorry,
That's the rowing club.
that's the wrong one. Well, since we're on it, the wrong club stamp.
Okay.
Can you
Sorry.
actually approve for the record? Into the mic so we know it's approved.
Yeah,
Or advanced, actually.
advanced.
Advanced.
The 34 median court.
Yeah, we went back and forth with the engineer designing this.
Advanced.
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 27. Good stamped.
All right, we're good on that one?
You good? For advancing.
Yep.
Is that the one that we had the discrepancy on the
Is that
plantings?
Vassar or Yasser?
Yes, sir.
Is that the one we talked about the plantings, or no?
No. So, this is rocks.
Okay.
That was the extension of the rocks that are.
Okay, yeah.
You did the Sag Harbor Cove one. This is for the bridge at Job's Lane.
Advanced.
Yep.
Advanced.
Good. And the final one is the Fantasy Drive Your Property, for the bioswale drainage at the end of the road. And that is stamped.
Advanced. It's a good
Advanced.
project.
Good project, advance it.
All right, that's it.
Okay, so that concludes our work session agenda. Did we miss something? Ma'am, are you here for something? What were you here for? We don't have public portion at work session, but did we miss an application for you? or-
You can come, if you're gonna speak to the board, you need to come
Yeah. Come on up.
to the desk.
Well, I saw you waiting there patiently, and we're done with our agenda, and I haven't seen you,
Okay, so I live over in Red Cedar Point, and they've been dredging for the last 4 days or so.
The county, yes.
And it is the second time they've done dredging within 5 years.
Okay.
The problem is that I'm here on behalf of some of my neighbors, because what they're dredging is not going as nourishment to where our homes are, but it's going on the opposite shore where there are no homes.
Right, it's a navigation dredging. It's not a replenishment dredging.
Oh, is there no way that,
The last time the county did the dredging at Red Creek, they came down Barrett Drive, and one of the homeowners there refused to give them access anymore, so they have to come on the east side and put it on the town and county property.
Right. And in
Because
reality,
your association would not allow them to come on the beach to put the
I don't
pipe.
think it's the association.
Well, it's,
I mean,
right.
well,
Okay, the
Red Creek
homeowner.
Point
Do you know
is,
who the homeowner is? I can speak to them.
plus you,
Red
Can't
Creek,
put that on public record.
Oh.
Red Creek Point Association is different than the Barrett, that's a different, part of, it's not part of Red Creek Association, it's its own entity.
plus,
Well,
Barrett Drive.
part of Barrett Drive is, the road is privately owned.
Right.
Yes.
So, but the homeowners that were in that area refused to have the county get access to the beach.
okay, regardless of that, it's a navigation dredging. So what they do is they calculate to keep that a navigable waterway,
Right.
where the best place is for them to put those dredge spoils.
Right.
With all the regulatory authority, additional permits that are required. That's what the intent is, and that's what they do. It's not that the county is spending hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to build up private property beaches or community
No,
associations.
I just thought
Right.
that.
You thought that if they're doing it, we could put the
Well,
material.
no, I just thought maybe, we didn't know, but we
Right.
thought perhaps
So-
they
Sometimes,
dumped it
well,
on the other side. 'Cause we-
sometimes that works because it benefits both aspects of it. But
Right.
sometimes it doesn't work and it ends up not working out with the regulatory authorities, becomes cost prohibitive because of the additional equipment or pumping that's needed to achieve that. But their main focus is not for our property. The main focus is for navigation aid. That's what it's for.
No,
I
it's
think.
just that I've been in Red Cedar Point since I was a kid, so I've been there since like 1959. And over the years, we've always had them dumping
Right.
on our side, so.
Putting the deposition material, dumping is not.
I
But
don't
using
mean-
it
If you, if you could
Spoiled
leave
deposition.
your contact number and name with James over there, or write it on there, I'll contact you after the meeting and give you a little elaborate a little bit more on what's going on there. So, okay?
It's just that, there's been so much erosion from nor'easters and
Yeah,
everything
yes, exactly.
that.
But there was an issue last time, and that's why the county reached out to our board, and that's why we have gotten them access to the east side of Red Creek Pond.
Right.
And historically, it was alternating from side to side,
Right.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, but once somebody creates an issue, it
Well-
takes a bit to unwind that issue, so.
That's why I have a conversation with the young lady here, that I will get a name and find out
Yeah, just
who
leave
it
it
was,
with-
and then I could,
Charlotte or James and,
I-
yeah, exactly, that's what you,
and I will contact that person individually and have a conversation with them.
thank you for waiting. We normally don't have public portion at work sessions, but you waited so patiently.
as it is, I'm an hour late for
You
work,
waited so
too.
patiently.
I appreciate it.
Well,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Harnish has contacted me in the past to get the material dredged, so he was instrumental in helping last time, so I'm gonna reach out to you again and find out who this person, I don't know the name, so we'll find
I
out.
appreciate it.
And then maybe 5 years from now, right? What do you say, they did it 5 years?
3.
3 years
3
ago,
years
whatever.
ago, yep.
Whatever it is, it's lucky that it gets dredged, I have to say hats off to the county dredge crew for working with us and trying to keep some of these waterways navigable. It's very difficult.
Should I put my phone number? Yeah.
Don't say it, but put it.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you so much. I
welcome.
appreciate the opportunity to
you're welcome.
say something. Okay, thank you.
Great one.
Thank you.
All right, so anybody have anything else, or do you want to go to exec? I see we have a nice sheet with exec list here.
Good exec.
You want to go to exec?
Yeah.
All right, so I will make a motion to adjourn our work session and go to exec session, and we will be back at 1 o'clock for general session.
I'll second that.
Seconded by trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.